For the record, today is Thursday, April 18th, 2019, and the time is now 3:42 p.m. Our core director, Ms. Mary Maravilla, will now call the roll of members.
Chairperson Régine Biscoe Lee.
Gaigita,
Legislative Secretary Amanda L. Shelton. Speaker Tina Rose Munoz Barnes. Vice Speaker Talina Cruz Nelson. Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano. Senator Sabina Flores Perez. Senator Clinton E. Rogel. Senator Joe S. San Augustine. Senator Jose Pito Terlahi. Senator Therese M. Terlahi. Senator James C. Moylan. Senator Mary Camacho Torres. Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Situs Masi, does the chair hear a motion to excuse members not present?
So moved.
Moved by Speaker Barnes, seconded by Senator San Augustine, and it's been moved and seconded that members not present be excused. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. And we'll now move to the ratification of core meeting minutes. And I know that that's been distributed from our core meeting March 19th, 2019. So I'll just give you a few minutes to review.
Madam Chair, motion to accept the minutes subject to any administrative corrections that needs to be made.
Situs Masi, Senator, it's been moved by Senator San Augustine and seconded by Speaker Barnes. Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. We'll now move on to our core business. The Legislative Secretary will now provide a report on the document tracking for η legislature in Guahan. Senator Shelton.
Situs Masi, Madam Chair. Half a day, everyone. The Legislative Secretary reports to date are as follows. Appointments by the Governor. There are 83 appointments submitted by Governor Lou Leon Guerrero to date. None of the appointments have met their potential due dates. There are 11 appointments that were confirmed during the February 2019 session and 8 appointments confirmed during the March 2019 session, totaling 19 confirmed appointments. There are no zone changes requests at this time. And we received 4 proposed rules and regulations changes. Situs Masi.
Situs Masi, Madam Secretary. We'll now move on to our session agenda. Committee reports for their following items have been duly filed with the Committee on Rules, and they include Bill 1 as amended, authored by Senator Régine Biscoe Lee. Bill 3 as amended by Senator Luis B. Munoz. Bill 7 as amended by Senator Talotai Tigui. Bill 11 as introduced by Senator Moylan. Bill 12 as substituted by the committee, Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano. Bill number 20 as substituted by the committee, Senator Talotai Tigui. And Bill 25 as amended by the committee, Senator Talotai Tigui. Bill 39 as amended by the committee, Senator Talotai Tigui, and Bill 44 as introduced by Vice Speaker Nelson. Bill 55 as amended, Senator Talotai Tigui. And then we also have a bill that was set aside from the previous session. That's Bill number 34-35 as amended by the committee, Senator Clint Rogel. We also have the following nominations that are cleared for our session agenda. They include Samantha Brennan to serve as the Director of the Department of Corrections, Margaret Peggy Denny to serve as a member of the Guam Solid Waste Authority Board of Directors, Mr. Sabino P. Flores to serve as a member to the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority Board of Commissioners, Mr. Ignacio Peredo to serve as the Director of Customs and Quarantine Agency, Julie L. Kanata to serve as a member of the Civil Service Commission, and Mrs. Lenita Tiong to serve as a member of the Guam Housing Corporation Board of Directors. Are there any motions to place these items on the session agenda? Senator San Augustine.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to make note that I do have 2 additional nominees that that packet will be submitted later, and that'll be brought on the floor next week during session. And that's Joseph Cameron and Lester Carlson. But that will be brought up on the floor of the session. Just completing the reports. Thank you.
Sidros Masi. Senator. Speaker, you're recognized.
Zeus Masi, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, if I may, just on behalf of the author, move Bill 1-35 as amended by the Committee on General Government Operations for my good colleague, Senator Joe S.A. That is a bill that was authored by you, an act to add new section 26203-2 to Article 2, Chapter 26, Title 11, Guam Code annotated relative to providing limited exemptions on small business under the Dave Sanchez Small Business Enhancement Act.
It's been moved by Speaker Tina Muñoz Barnes and seconded by Senator San Augustine. Any objection to adding Bill 1 as amended to this session agenda?
No objection.
Hearing none, motion carries. Speaker?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, on the appointment of Julie L. Canata to serve as member of the Civil Service Commission, I'd like to that be moved to the session agenda for consideration.
On the appointment of Julie L. Kanata, it's been moved by Speaker Barnes. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Senator San Augustine. Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Speaker?
If I may, Madam Chair, I do have 2. I know the reports were circulated. They should have been in last night on Mr. Juan to serve as a member of the Civil Service Commission. I have 2 appointments, Madam Chair. One is Mr. Juan Calvo to serve as a member of the Civil Service Commission, and the second one for that same commission would be Mrs. Priscilla Tuncap.
Sidros Masi, Speaker, I do have that these appointments are in the Committee on Rules and they're currently in core review.
Yes.
They didn't meet the core deadline, but they are being reviewed by the Committee on Rules and they were received on the 18th. So we can definitely attempt to move it.
Thank you for the motion for consideration, Madam Chair, if I may.
Sidros Masi.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
I apologize, Senator. I'm going to recognize Senator Shelton and then you can be next.
Sidros Masi, Madam Chair, I'd like to state for the record that I also have 2 nomination packets that met the deadline of core but are in need of revision, and they will be submitted after this meeting for Debbie Bellinger, appointed to the GCC Board of Trustees, and Leslie Ann Leon Guerrero, appointed as Regent at the University of Guam.
Sidros Masi, Senator Shelton, they did meet the core deadline. They were in on the 15th, but they have I think one additional revision that needs to be made. So that's Deborah Bellinger and Leslie Ann Leon Guerrero. So noted. Sidros Masi. Senator Terlahi,
I would also like to make a motion to place Stephen Ignacio for the Chief of Police and for Esther Agigi on the next session.
Those reports are being
Those-
circulated.
I apologize, Senator Terlahi. The appointment of Stephen C. Ignacio to serve as the Director of the Guam Police Department and Esther Jones C. Agigi to serve
the
as the
Guam National
Director of
Guard.
the Department of Military
Adjutant General.
Affairs and the Adjutant General. They were both received on the 18th, and they didn't meet our core deadline, but they are under core review. So you might want to, once they get up online and all that good stuff, then you can move it on the floor.
Thank you very much.
Sidros Masi. Senator San Augustine, you're recognized.
Madam Chair, I'd like to place appointment of Sabino P. Flores to serve as a member to the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority Board of Commissioners.
Mr. Flores has been moved by Senator San Augustine. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Senator Marsh Taitano. Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator San Augustine.
Madam Chair, I'd like to also move appointment of Lenita B. Tiong to serve as member of the Guam Housing Corporation Board of Directors.
Moved by Senator San Augustine. Seconded.
Second.
Seconded by Senator Shelton. Any objection?
Yes.
No objection.
Hearing none, motion carries. Sudos Masi. Senator San Augustine.
Madam Speaker, if I may,
Yes, sure.
Madam Chair,
Senator Terlahi.
I want to make a motion to move Samantha Brennan for confirmation and Ignacio Paredo for, Samantha Brennan for the Director of Department of Correction and Ignacio Paredo. One at a
So
time.
yeah, we'll take it one at a time. So
Okay.
the appointment of Samantha Brennan to serve as the Director of Department of Corrections has been moved by Senator Terlahi. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Kelly Marsh Taituno. Any objection?
No objection.
Hearing none, motion carries. Senator
Madam
Terlahi.
Speaker, I also want to move the appointment of Ignacio Paredo to serve as Director of Custom and Quarantine Agency.
Moved by Senator Terlahi.
Second.
Seconded by Speaker Barnes. Any objection?
No.
Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. From the Committee on Environment, Revenue, and Taxation and Procurement, I move to place a nomination of Margaret J. Denny to serve as a member of the Guam Solid Waste Authority Board of the Directors on the session agenda.
Thank you, Senator Paris. Peggy Denny has been moved. Sorry.
Margaret
There's a
J.
second?
Second.
Margaret Peggy Denny. I apologize. Seconded by Speaker Barnes. Any objection to the
No
appointment
objection.
of Margaret J. Denny to the Guam Solid Waste Authority? Hearing none, motion carries.
Did you do Margaret too?
Senator?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will be conducting a confirmation hearing tomorrow, Friday, April 19th, for 5 appointments, 1 for Guam Solid Waste Authority and 4 for Guam EPA. I would like to advise the committee that I would move to place these nominations on the session agenda.
Duly noted. Sudos Masi. Senator Shelton, you're recognized.
Sudos Masi, Madam Chair. I'd like to move Bill number 44-35 COR to be placed on the session agenda.
Yes, please, as introduced.
Bill number 44-35 COR as introduced by Talina Cruz Nelson. An act to amend Section 3133B5 of Chapter 3, Title 17, Guam Code Annotated, relative to removing the imposition of fines for members who attend Guam Department of Education Financial Supervisory Commission meetings.
Bill 44, as introduced, has been moved by Senator Shelton, seconded by Senator San Augustine. Any objection to adding Bill 44 to our agenda? Hearing none, motion carries. Any other senator wish to be heard? Senator Marsh Taituno.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to motion to place Bill number 12-35 as substituted by the Committee on General Government Operations, Appropriation, and Housing, and authored by myself, onto the floor, onto the session floor.
And that's Bill number 12 as substituted. And Senator, do you mind just reading the title of the bill?
Sure. An act to amend Section 1510 of Chapter 1 of Title 5 Guam Code Annotated relative to the consistent and uniform gender reference to the Governor of Guam and Lieutenant Governor of Guam in English and Chamorro applicable to any statute, law, regulation, rule, public document, contract, agreement, or official recording of public acts and transactions of the Government of Guam.
Bill number 12 has been moved by Senator Marsh Taituno and seconded by Senator San Augustine. Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator?
Yes, and I would also like to state for the record, just to advise that I plan to submit to the Corps and then for consideration the nomination of Ina Carrillo, the appointment of Ina Carrillo for PBS on the session floor. I will be working to be submitting that.
Duly noted. Sudos Masi. Senator Shelton.
Sudos Masi, Madam Chair, I'd also like to move Bill number 11-35 LS, as introduced by James Camacho Moylan, an act to create the Expect More Act of 2019 by adding Section 3133 to Chapter 3, Title 5, Guam Code Annotated, relative to the creation of an agency customer service policy, onto our session agenda.
That's Bill number 11 as introduced. Moved by Senator Shelton. Any second? Moved by Senator Shelton, seconded by Senator James Camacho Moylan. Any objection?
I object.
There's been an objection to placing Bill number 11 onto the session agenda, and we'll need 8 votes to place. All of those in favor of moving Bill number 11 onto our session agenda, please indicate by raising your hand. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Motion fails. Senator Shelton? Okay. Senator Terlahi, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
I'd like to move Bill number 3. It's a bill by Senator Muña to add a new section 23111A16 to Article 1 of Chapter 23, Title 7, Guam Code Annotated, relative to exempting war claims from execution or attachment by creditors.
Sujos Maasi, Senator Terlahi has moved Bill number 3 as amended, introduced by Senator Muña and seconded by Speaker Tina Rose Muña Barnes. Any objection to the placement of Bill 3? Hearing none, motion carries. Any other member wish to be heard?
Madam Chair, if I could
sorry.
just also, for notice of the committee and to ask your expeditious action on it when it's available, is we just had a hearing on the nomination of Paul Shimizu to GVB yesterday, so we are working to put that in as soon as possible for your consideration.
Sujos Maasi.
We've also just today had a hearing for Dr. Sarah Thomas Nedadog and Mrs. Obispo for the Guam Memorial Hospital.
And Mike
Right, Dr. So those 3 nominees. So there would be 4 total that we would try to add to the agenda. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sujos Maasi. Duly noted. Senator Rangel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to note also that I may have one appointment to move later once the committee reports are done. The committee report's done, and that's for Siska Hutapia. Hutapea. We just held her confirmation hearing a couple days ago. So
Duly noted.
once the committee report is done, we're working to finish it. It should be finished soon.
Okay.
And then I'll move it on the floor. Thank you.
Duly noted. Thank you. Senator Paris.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place Bill number 25-35 as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue and Taxation and Procurement, sponsored by Telo Titaitigui. It's an act to amend Section 49119 of Chapter 49, Division 2, Title 10, Guam Code Annotated, relative to the ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel standard on Guam.
This is Bill number 25 as amended. It's been moved by Senator Paris. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Senator Marsh Taitano. Any objection? Any objection to the placement of Bill 25 as amended onto our session agenda? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Paris? Senator Moylan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move to place Bill number 7-35 as amended by the Committee on Health, Tourism, and Historic Preservation, Land and Justice by Senator Telo Titaitigui, which is the act to amend, let me read all this, subsection 61106B of Article 1, Chapter 61, Division 2, Title 21, Guam Code Annotated, relative to establishing an administrative fine for the director of a member agency of the Application Review Committee, which fails to provide required reports and/or position statements on the land use application.
Sudos Masi. That's Bill number 7 as amended, moved by Senator Moylan. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Senator Pito Terlahi. Any objection to Bill number 7 as amended? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Moylan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move to place Bill number 2035 Core as substituted by the Committee on General Government Operations, Appropriations, and Housing by Senator Tello Taitagui, which is an act to amend Section 8 of Chapter 11, Public Law 34116 by reducing the Guam Retirement Security Plan funding by $200,000 and appropriating the same from the general fund and fiscal year 2019 to the Guam Police Department for security cameras and related equipment.
Madam Chair, if I may,
Speaker.
if I may, based on Bill number 20-35, this bill, yes, did have its public hearing, but we were just informed that there was federal grant funding that will be provided for these security cameras. And if I'm not mistaken, I heard that it was in the tune of 175,000. So, which would leave probably an appropriation more of 25,000. So, I don't have an objection, but I would just want to bring a point of information up to this body based on the information that was received to us by the if you want any update to confirm if that was
Madam Chair, what has happened is that there was about $6+ million that was given by DOI to Parks and Rec. Within that funds, 175 was specific to parks. The intention, the real intent of Bill 20 was to provide cameras at the parks to support GPD. I would only, if this bill was to go forward, I will rise to amend the bill from 200,000 to 50,000, and that the 150 would be earmarked to go to another bill that is already circulating, and it's in support of the Autism Center, which is requesting for 150. Only because there is funds available to the Department of Interior, 175,000. And I'm not objecting to this bill, but you need to understand that there will be requests to amend the bill on the amount.
Sudos Masi, Mr. Chair, and Speaker Barnes for bringing that information to the committee. Senator Moylan?
Okay, so at this point, Madam Chair, my options would be, if you can please clarify that then.
Oh, so I just wanted to see if you still wanted to move forward with your move to place.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With this new information, I kind of feel the spirit of what Senator Taitagui was trying to direct with her bill, understanding that if Department of money is coming in for the 175, I'm just not sure if I can ask just for possibly clarification. Her intent then was for the Guam Police Department security cameras. If that's where this money that we understand is now appropriated will go to the Guam Police Department usage for these cameras, I'm not sure, Madam Chair.
Senator Augustine, do you yield?
Yes, Madam Chair, the intent of Bill 20 was to provide funding to provide cameras to the parks, to assist the police department in having more eyes on the street. Then later on, after that bill was heard, we received the message, and I think all the committee members, all the members here should be receiving a copy from my office. The Department of Interior awarded Parks and Rec $6+ million. 175,000 is very specific to provide CCTV on the parks. Now with that, they didn't identify the specific parks. If need be, and GPD needs those cameras, all they have to do is ask the parks to put it where they need them so they can help them. And then, like I said, out of the 175, if you minus that from the 200,000, you're down to 25, like the speaker mentioned. But I would propose that I would only amend the bill on the floor to identify only 50,000, and the reason why of the 200,000, because there was also another bill that followed after this bill passed that requested for 150,000 for the autism center. And that's where I would lean the rest of that money, that funds.
Situas
All right.
Masi, Senator San Agustin. Senator Moylan. Senator Moylan, you're recognized.
Okay, so, Madam Chair, if I understand, then if we keep this, move forward, then we can make the amendments on the floor. Yeah.
So there's been a motion by Senator Moylan. Do I hear a second for Bill number 20 as substituted? No. No second. Senator Chalahi?
Just a question.
Sure.
Perhaps the bill could be, oh no, I was going to suggest it to be amended by the committee, but it's already at the Committee of Rules. So actually, we could amend it right now by Committee on Rules if we had enough information, but just a suggestion.
I'm not certain that the information that we need is in the detail where we would be able to make the appropriate recommendations.
I think if I can, Madam Chair, I think the most prudent thing at this point would to give the author of this bill the advantage to take the new information and, if she so desires, work with the committee to amend it further, if she so desires. But I think, we're speaking, I believe, out of turn since it's really her measure. So my recommendation would be to perhaps not second it, but allow the bill to be taken up at another time, perhaps next month. Because I think that the author can't speak, for herself at this point.
Senator Moylan?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Point of
After listening to the discussion amongst the core
No, do
members,
55.
I
I'll
agree
do
to withdraw.
55.
On the motion to withdraw, any objections?
No.
Hearing none, motion carries. Speaker, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I just want to go ahead then and move from my committee, Bill number 55-35 LS as amended by the Committee on Public Accountability, Human Resources, and the Guam Build-Up, a bill that was authored by the good Senator Tello Taitagui, an act to amend Section 4302C1D and Section 4302C1E of Article 3, Chapter 4, Title 4, Guam Code annotated relative to the composition of the Government of Guam Health Insurance Negotiating Team onto session agenda.
Situas Masi, Speaker. That's Bill number 55 as amended, moved by Speaker Barnes. Do I hear a seconded by Senator Kelly Marsh Taitino? Any objection to Bill number 55 as amended?
No objection.
Hearing none, motion carries. Speaker?
That's it. Madam Speaker, just based on maybe just a point of inquiry, if the Committee on Rules receives information and the bill is already in rules, the understanding that the Committee on Rules can further amend the bill based on information that is received. If the motion, I know the motion was withdrawn, but can the motion for reconsideration be brought up based on the additional information that has been received by the oversight chair of another committee? Can that still be entertained?
Well, it's my understanding that at this juncture, we will move into our normal session, and the bill can be placed during motions at that time.
Right, but based on, but would the information be provided and be amended by the Committee on Rules, or would the author have to be able to just based on what the Committee of Office and Finance and Budget has provided to this
It's my
committee.
understanding that the Committee on Rules could potentially, especially with the vote of the members, move to amend, but my recommendation would be
To work with
to
the
send
author.
it back, well, to the Committee on Finance and Budget so that they can,
Work with the author for the numbers.
that
Thank
is right.
I just wanted to make sure that
Thank you.
that clarification was for the record, but it's the body who has said, the author is not here to defend that and to work closely with the information that has been provided today.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Suzus Masi. Senator?
Madam Chair, I'd just like to, I don't know if it's a motion, because it's in reference to Public Law 35-4. Public Law 35-4 originated out of Bill 29-35, which is an act to repeal, in reference to the game of chance, the carnival. And it's only to advise the members here that the rules and regulation is being circulated and is being amended.
The committee report is being circulated.
And it will be brought before the floor next week. It's just to have it so noted. And it's in reference to the game of chance at the Guam Island Fair and Liberation Day Carnival, pursuant to Public Law 35-4.
Duly noted.
Thank
Suzus
you.
Masi. Senator Terlahi and then Senator Torres.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd also like to just for advance notice, I guess, note that there are two bills, one Bill 66 and Bill 68. They're both regarding autism that I'm going to try to move next week when the committee reports are done. And, well, one report's by my committee, one's by another committee. And also Bill 63, which we had a hearing on this morning, it's to allow the Tennis Federation to go forward with their lease. It's kind of critical, time sensitive, so I'd like to also add that one. And
Senator, I apologize. Could you just repeat the numbers?
yes, 66 and 68, those are the autism bills. 63 is the Tennis Federation bill. And then finally, Bill 22, I'm also almost ready to send that to your committee. It's a correction to the signage law that was passed in the last term.
So that's 22, 66, and 68.
And 22, 66, 68, and 63. That's the tennis.
Duly noted. Suzus Masi.
Thank you very much.
Senator Torres, you're recognized.
Madam Chair, I move to place resolution number 77-35 COR as introduced by myself, the author, on the session agenda. This measure is relative to expressing the support of Imina 35 na legislatura en Guahan for the passage of H.R. 208, the Guam Supplemental Security Income Equality Act, introduced by the Honorable Michael F. Cusa Nicholas in the United States House of Representatives on January 3, 2019, which seeks to extend coverage of the Supplemental Security Income Program to qualifying individuals who reside on Guam, and to further extending Undangkluna Suzus Masi to the representative for his advocacy of Guam's most vulnerable.
Suzus Masi, Senator Camacho Torres. There's been a motion to place resolution number 77 as introduced onto the session agenda.
And for clarification, the committee report has been submitted and received by the Committee on Rules
And filed by the clerks.
and filed by the clerks, I believe, yesterday.
So there's been a motion by Senator Torres to move resolution number 77. Do I hear a second? Second. Seconded by Senator Kelly Marsh Taitino. Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Torres.
That is all. Thank you.
Suzus Masi. Any other member wish to be heard? Senator Moylan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move for the committee to consider adding Bill number 3935 Core as amended by the Committee on Public Accountability, Human Resources, and the Guam Buildup, sponsored by Senator Tello Taitagui, which is an act to add a new item number 5 to subsection 4109.2b of Article 1, Chapter 4, Title 4, Guam Code Annotated, relative to authorizing additional leave through the Leave Sharing Program for employees certified as having a catastrophic or chronic illness. Madam Chair.
Senator Chalahi?
Thank you.
You're recognized.
Just one question. The or chronic is underlined here. Is that a change or that's just
It's a change.
typo? Oh.
It's an addition to the existing.
So shouldn't, oh, so it's as amended by the committee. Okay, I haven't seen that, but all right, thank you.
There's been a motion to place Bill 39 as amended by Senator Moylan. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Speaker Tina. Any objection to Bill 39? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Moylan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is relative to my request to withdraw. I would ask for reconsideration after speaking to the author of the bill to place the to move to place Bill number 2035 core back on the agenda for consideration, Madam Chair.
There's been a motion to place Bill 20 as substituted by Senator Moylan. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Senator Régine. Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Moylan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I believe just for a question there, Bill 5535, that was also included already, right? We also had that done? Did we add 5535 as well?
Yes, it was moved by the Speaker and Senator Kelly Marsh-Teichner.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. We've exhausted our listing. Senator Chalahi.
Not under this section of the agenda, Madam Chair, but I would just like to ask that for future meetings, if we could add as an item on the agenda, ratification of referrals of bill referrals. Thank you. The rules say that that the Rules Committee ratifies referral of bills on its meeting, that the bills get referred and then the ratification is done.
Duly noted. Any other member wish to be heard? We'll now move to extension of remarks. The chair opens up the floor for any further discussion. There's been a motion to adjourn by Senator San Augustine, seconded by the Speaker. Before we adjourn, colleagues, I'd just like to wish everyone a very happy Easter, and those watching at home, happy and blessed Easter. Sudos Masi, the Committee on Rules hereby adjourns this meeting at 4:19 p.m. Thank you for your attendance and participation. Sudos Masi.